My name is Nathaniel, although I am sometimes called Bartholomew. Like many of the others, I am a fisherman. I am a disciple of John the Baptizer, and it was John who introduced me to Jesus at Bethany beyond the Jordan. But it was my friend Philip who came to me and said, "We have found him, of whom Moses in the law and the prophets wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, son of Joseph." I will never forget the question I put to Philip that day. What good thing can come from Nazareth? For Nazareth was such a small, insignificant place that many of us, familiar with her lanes and alleys, wondered why God placed his anointed in her midst. However, Philip simply replied, "Come and see." When I saw Jesus, he said to me, "Behold, an Israelite in whom there is no guile." "How do you know me?" I asked. He replied, "Before you were born, I saw you under the fig tree. Before Philip called you, I saw you under the fig tree. In the country where I am from, when working mothers go out into the fields, they place their babies under the nearest fig tree. The large leaves of the tree shelter their babies from the hot rays of the sun." So what the master was saying to me is that he has known me since the day I was born. It was then that I confessed, "Rabbi, you are the King of Israel. You are the Son of God." Since that day, I have been a disciple and one of his chosen apostles. And now, when he is instituting a new ceremony to take the place of Passover, he tells us that one of us is to betray him. How can that be? How can there be a traitor numbered among his closest friends? I keep asking myself, is it I? Is it I?
My name is Philip. I come from Bethsaida in Galilee. Some of my friends and I had gone down to listen to John the Baptist. And Jesus came to us and said, "Be my disciples." And we immediately turned around and left. I well remember the day that Jesus fed the 5,000 with 5 loaves and 2 fishes, asking him and the others, "Where can we buy bread that all may eat?" Little did I know that Andrew was bringing to Jesus a young lad with his lunch. When the Greeks came and asked for an interview with Jesus, I referred them to Andrew, and he took them to Jesus. When Jesus began to say that God is our Father, it was almost too much for me to understand. But as I listened to the Master, I began to understand his words. In fact, if you knew Jesus, you could almost say that you knew the Father, because everything that I would want in the Father, I see in Jesus. and nothing that I would not want in the Father do I see in the Son. And now Jesus tells us that one of our number will betray him. Does not the traitor know that if he betrays Jesus, he is conspiring against God? How can anyone be so blind? Who can it be? Is it Philip? Is it I? Is it I?
I am Andrew, the brother of Simon Peter, the man who first brought his own brother to the Lord. I am not a gifted man, but just an ordinary, average man like any of you. But I have tried to do what I could to serve the Master with the gifts and talents that I have. The others call me Andrew the Bringer, because it seems all that I have done is to bring someone else to Jesus. I brought my brother to Jesus and have gloried in the gradual transformation in his life. I found that little lad with 5 loaves and 2 fish on the day that Jesus fed the 5,000. And just recently, some Greeks came seeking the Master, and I was once more called in to bring the Greeks to Jesus. He must have seen something in me which the others overlooked, because he chose me to be one of the 12 apostles. I have been very close to the Master ever since. Oh, I may not have been in the inner circle like Peter, but I haven't been in the outer circle either. I've been a true friend and companion to my Lord. What greater gift could life afford a fisherman? Now, it seems that one of us is to betray him. It is unthinkable. Who could it be? How could he get away with it in his own heart? Could it be Andrew the Bringer? Is it I? Is it I?